Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It has been a while. I haven't recorded in a minute. Been a little bit busy, but let's get straight to the point. Recently, PPD went ahead and had a little bit of a debate between an ex-CIA, and they were pretty much talking about, well, the video that which I'm gonna be reacting to is they were talking about what is the biggest threat to America. And while I was listening to this, I had a lot to say, but I'm gonna try to just keep my calm and just give you guys as much information as humanly possible. That I'm capable of, obviously.
I'm going to give you four countries to be paranoid about. Which of them would you give the biggest percentage all the way to the smallest? So you have these four categories. You have Islam.
Okay.
So within Islam, we have IRGC.
I mean, it's pretty, sorry for pausing it so quickly. It's funny how he said four countries and then he goes ahead and name a religion. I mean, this guy's hatred for Islam is so blatantly obvious that it's like, bro, just like, come on, man. You couldn't have made it any more obvious.
Qatar, just include all of them. We have Israel, because Israel is also coming up a lot of different places.
Israel's not a country, it's pretty much a state. I mean, this place is literally the size of New Jersey.
Then we have China and we have Russia. Where does your paranoia lie the most for the next 10 years with these four different countries as well as Islam? Just rank them and give like 45% would be Islam, 25 would be this.
Yeah, so China takes the massive chunk of pie for me. China is the number one strategic threat to the United States.
What did you put on China?
50%.
Okay.
Islam, I gave 5%. I'm not worried about Islam. There are other countries that need to worry about Islam, but we're not one of them. Russia, I gave 20%, and then Israel, I gave 25%. So I am actually saying we should be more paranoid of Israel than Russia.
And Islam, 5 times Islam.
5 times Islam.
Let's start off with Islam first, and then we'll go to Israel. Why did you put Islam the lowest out of all of them at 5%?
I don't see Islam as a threat to the United States. And that's what I was seeing it as. Paranoid to me, right? What am I paranoid? It's not Islam. Islam is it's difficult for them to reach us with any significance. When they reach us, it's difficult for them to bypass our security systems, whether they're cybersecurity systems, police systems, border security systems, etc. Meanwhile, Israel actually has the ability to drag us into all sorts of shit that actually does impact us.
Let me tell you guys something right now. Please, if you made it this far, go in the comment section. I'm gonna say this with full confidence. Islam has never attacked America. Prove me wrong. And I'm talking about American soil. The American soil. Islam, as Muslims, we have never attacked the American soil.
All paying more money for oil right now because of Israel. We are all suffering under an international outcry against American leadership because of Israel. The whole world questions whether or not the president of the United States is even making his own decisions or whether he's the puppet of Israel. So Israel has an incredible ability to frustrate and put us in quagmire that Islam just doesn't have.
Okay, so what's the worst thing that Israel could do to us? Go a little further. So because you put 25%, that's a real threat. You put it bigger than Russia and Islam. So what are some things they could do to us?
So before he goes ahead and say that, let me just give you guys a little bit of some stuff that Israel has already done to America. Israel was behind the assassination of JFK. Israel was behind the attack on the USSR Liberty. Israel was behind the 9/11 attack on September. Israel was pretty much behind Jeffrey Epstein, supporting him throughout his whole, blackmail what he was doing. Israel is responsible for pretty much the downfall of the United States of America. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But these are a little bit of some stuff that I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys. So let's see what he had to say.
So I'm not worried about Israel sending a bomb into New York. If that's what you're worried about, we're worried about different things. Israel could easily launch a false flag operation that sends us into a war. They can have an Israeli who poses as a Palestinian, who goes in and causes some kind of crazy shit in Syria, and now all of a sudden the entire United States is engaged in Syria because of something that Israel set up as a false flag. And that is something that the Mossad does all the time. They do it very well, very eloquently. They already selectively share intelligence with the United States, and the reason you selectively share intelligence is to create the opportunity for misdirection or malintent.
And also keep in mind that the Mossad motto is, with deception, thou shalt cause war. That's their motto.
So Israel's already involved in these kinds of operations at a very high success rate. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about them backstabbing the United States. I'm concerned about them undermining our national interests. I'm concerned about them choosing, like they did with Iran, to escalate rhetoric about a certain issue that's more important to them than it is to us, that then goes on to affect us.
Okay, perfect. So then the infiltration of Islam, some say, to EU and what's happening to a lot of those countries, UK, Germany, you're seeing it all over the place. And to the point where Rupert Lowe did a paper, the 250,000, stories of girls being raped in UK, 87% being Pakistanis and Muslims. And then seeing what's going on in the U.S. right now with New York City, Mamdani wins history, individuals that also won. So that's not going into the financial capital of the world in the States. Do you have any concern of they're infiltrating the United States in the future?
So, see, this is one of the problems that PBD has. He would take the action of people and blame an entire religion based off of that. As Muslims, one thing that I will tell you right now, if a Muslim gets found guilty of committing a rape, this dude will either be locked up for years, or in certain countries, he may even be executed. Rape is completely against Islam. It doesn't matter who you do it to. It doesn't matter where you do it. If you are in a Muslim country and you commit such heinous crime, you are found guilty, you will be punished for that. That goes against Islam. But PBD has the notion that when somebody who is named Muhammad decides to do some stupid action, he goes ahead and blames the entirety of Islam. When in reality, if you actually look into Islam, Islam goes against the action that he's accusing all the Muslims of doing. That right there is disingenuous, and this is why I personally don't like PBD. As a matter of fact, PBD is somebody who literally built his whole entire empire off of scams. I mean, literally, like seriously, look at his PHP. So many people have looked into it and they've came to a conclusion that this was a pyramid scheme that he concocted and made millions off of it. And then later started Valuetainment. And now he wants to pretend that he actually cares about the exact people that he scammed to make his wealth.
So here, this is another thing I think is very interesting, right? Islam is the only thing on this list that's not a nation state.
It is.
It's a religion.
That's right.
I'm not worried about a religion. I'm worried about people, and people identify sometimes as a religion. But it's interesting to me that we're actually weighing nation state threats against religious threats. So when we talk about Islamic people in New York, I don't see them as a threat just because of what they believe. That goes against American values. I see threats as nation states and transnational threats that self-identify, like Al-Qaeda, right? So I don't see Islam and Islamic people as a threat.
But if you notice, I put it as, consider it being IRGC, which is all the proxies, and consider Qatar, which Qatar is funding a lot of different things in the States. If we were to qualify it that way, would your opinion change?
Possibly. I think it would change in how the number breaks down based on what we qualify.
But break that down from the Israel standpoint. So you put 25% Israel threat and you're paranoid about
Correct.
them. What are different things that they can do to harm us?
Israel can hack into our cyber systems. They can hack into our core water, power grid, you name it. I mean, China has hacked into our personnel records for the military.
And keep this in mind, the Pentagon has literally raised the threat of Israel on America to the highest level possible. Has the Pentagon done that to Muslims? No. They just like to use Islam as an scapegoat. They just like to use Islam as a fear-mongering to pretend that they're actually doing something, that they're actually caring about their citizen, that they're actually trying to protect their citizen from T attack. When in reality, the real T's are already among them. The real T's are literally standing in the White House right now as we're speaking, taking picture with Donald Trump. The real T are literally starting wars in the Middle East right now as we are speaking. But Muslims are the problem. Muslims are the reason why our economy is so much, it's shit.
Israel is far more capable than China is in terms of cyber capability. They learn their cyber capability from us. They can rent their cyber capability from Russia. So when we talk about cyber attacks, space-based attacks, when we talk about influence campaigns, propaganda campaigns, the top of the list of capability is Israel. It's not all strapping bombs and flying in planes. It's much more sophisticated. It's sophisticated enough that they can cross a border into an enemy country and launch drones, right? We underestimate Israel's capability constantly. I don't know how many times you have to see pagers blow up before you realize Israel's far more capable than we believe they are.
And I don't know how many times they have to assassinate more high political people in order for you to recognize that Israel is a problem. If you don't believe me, just all the major attack on America, the reason why they are still, classified is because Israel has it has something to do with Israel. The whole trope that Muslims are the one behind 7/11. Why are the documents still classified if what you're saying is 100% true? That Israel had nothing to do with it. George Bush was not aware of it. Why is it that it's still classified? All the documents should be out there if all the information that they have gathered is still pointing at the Muslims. But the reason why these documents are not coming out is simply because Israel was behind it. For example, when the E-file, the Epstein file was being released, people started to make some connection. They started to realize that during 7/11, there's nothing. People started to see document before 7/11, and then after 7/11, then it's like, wait a minute, what about this little gap right here? Where's that? Where's that information? Why? Because Epstein was working for Israel, and Israel has something to do with 7/11. When you start connecting all these dots, everything will start to make sense. This is why I say Muslims have never attacked America. And the reason why I'm standing by that statement is because Muslims are not allowed to kill innocent people. Muslims are not allowed to kill themselves. Muslims are not allowed to just start nonsense war without being provoked. Muslims are not allowed to do a lot of the heinous crime that the media like to portray Muslims as. Muslims have just been used as a boogeyman for you to be distracted. That's all it is.
You see them as an ally?
I see them as a country that is out for their own best national interests. And when you align with that, you're on their good side. And when you don't align with that, you're not.
Is it specific to Bibi or Israel, period?
I think it's both, but Bibi has taken it to the next level because of the corruption issues that he's also stuck in. There are multiple intelligence surveys out there that talk about how Israel cannot be trusted as an ally to the extent that, say, France or Italy or Germany can be.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you want to go ahead and find the whole entire podcast. It's going to be on YouTube, but I just went ahead and found this clip on X, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if you made it this far, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys up in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.